You're listening to another segment of Harlem 411, and this is Keziah Glow. Today I have Anthony Anderson, actor and comedian. So we know him from roles in Law and Order, The Bernie Mac Show, and The Departed, but today Anthony is going to talk about his type 2 diabetes.
Hey, Keziah.
Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey. So tell us more about your project.
Diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic nearly 10 years ago, and it was a shock. Because one, I didn't think it was something that I would be even facing. Mm-hmm. And if I was going to face it at all, it wasn't going to happen until I was in my 60s and 70s, because that's what I thought diabetes was, an old person's disease. But then I was slapped in the face with reality that it's not, and how it's really affecting society as a whole, but in particular the African American community, whereas every African American born today has a 50% chance of being diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. That number right there is shocking. So I sought out to find an organization or something that I can be a part of to help bring awareness to our community.
Right.
And happened to come across Eli Lilly and their FACE campaign, Fearless African Americans Connected and Empowered. And it was exactly what I was looking for, about empowering, educating, and bringing information to our community about this disease.
Right.
And so that's how it all started, and that's why I'm here today.
You know, one thing I noticed as someone who is also a fan and loves your work, that you've made weight changes. Did that have anything to do with the diabetes, or I know?
It did. I always thought I was healthy. Even when I was a fat, I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, "No, you're not healthy. You are a fat."
You know what?
So I had to make those changes. And that's what I did. I got serious about the disease. Not that I wasn't serious before. I got serious about the things that I needed to be doing as a type 2 diabetic.
Right.
And those things were diet. Those things were exercise. Those things were healthier choices.
Right.
And that's what I did. And as a result of all of that, lost 35 pounds, and I've kept it off.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. And trying to lose more and become even healthier.
I'm so glad to hear that you're a role model for so many people. And I do know a lot of people with diabetes. What are some, words of advice or recommendations, or just some things that you can tell people who are dealing or struggling with diabetes?
Well, struggle is a hard word, because we don't have to struggle with it.
Oh.
Because the changes are simple, or can be simple. We make them difficult. We're stubborn, as I was, as my father was, as my mother is. All of us are type 2 diabetics. Well, my father was. He passed away from complications of diabetes. We're stubborn in what we need to be doing. There's simple changes. We can continue to eat the way that we are as long as we eat and do those things in moderation, and as long as we have a balance. And that balance comes with exercise. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, then I need to do this to offset that. And those are simple things. And when I say exercise, it's not about, going to a gym. It's about walking up some stairs that you would never walk up before. It's about walking around your neighborhood. It's about eating a meal for dinner and then going out and walking around your block to help digest that and burn off some of those calories. It's about not eating past a certain hour of the day. It's about making healthier choices of what we are eating. You can still eat your collard greens, just don't have your collard greens with fat back or ham hock.
Right.
Use smoked turkey if that's what you're going to do. Right. Don't fry your chicken, broil it, grill it. You don't need to. You can use olive oil. You can use chicken stock, vegetable stock to simmer some vegetables in if you want flavor, as opposed to using butter and things like that. So it's just about us getting the information and the knowledge. And that's what Eli Lilly and this FACE campaign is all about. If everyone, who's reading this or listening to this can go to face-diabetes.com, FACE-diabetes.com. That's the website. If they can go and get recipes, they can go and get information about this disease. It's a networking, there's a networking component with this, and information is key, and that's what we're giving. That's what we're spreading, and that's what we're giving, and that's the first step.
Wow. Well, I'm so proud of you, and I just want to thank you for being on our show and sharing this information because, like you said, we don't have to struggle with this, but a lot of our community deals with this issue. What can we look for coming from you, in the future? I mean, how has this is a twofold question, and we're almost out of time, but how has this impacted your career, and what can we look for you for in the future?
It hasn't impacted my career at all. If anything, it's enhanced it just because I'm healthier, and it's a healthier version of me.
Right.
And, working on developing a new half-hour sitcom on the FX network.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 independent films that are in the can that are scheduled to be released at the top of the year. One's called The Power of Few, me, Christian Slater, Christopher Walken. And the other is called Ghosts, me, Minnie Driver, David Duchovny, and Vera Farmiga. So I'm excited about those things. And then, just various other TV projects that I may guest star on, and my comedy shows throughout the year. So, I'm still going strong and doing what I've always done.
I'm so happy. And you know what? I'm really glad that you're talking about this because, like I said, this is something that plagues a lot of people. And, coming from you and hearing somebody speak about it in this manner, it will actually change people's way that they see it. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to leave us with, or, anything to keep in our head to keep us moving forward and stay healthy?
We all make choices in life, and being diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, I made the choice to live with this disease and do everything that I can to overcome it.
Great.
Versus dying from this disease. Because those are the only 2 options. You can die from it or live with it and overcome it.
Right.
I've seen too many people die from it because that's the choice that they made. I'm not one of those people. And I don't want the people out there listening and reading this to be that, because that means what we're doing right now is in vain.
You've been listening to Anthony Anderson on Harlem 411, and we'll be right back.